windmill is absolutely huge. Like, I wish you could see it in person. That's insane. Look at all those windmills back there.
Yeah, you would never know they're that big till you're up on them. I mean, compared to that house, look at it.
Exactly, and that's it. The comparison for the cars in the house. They're all out through there. There's bunches of them. Windmills, and we are doing macrame at the table. And I have my childhood blanket that I don't go anywhere without. And I'm looking at the windmills, hanging out, wearing Donna's flannel shirt, and making some macrame. And that's what we're doing. And I'll catch up with you later when I decide to eat or finish my bracelet. Y'all, we made it to Nebraska. Turn around so we don't get my phone shadow.
There you go.
Made it to Nebraska. I slept, I don't know, probably for like 2 hours. Fell asleep, woke up, fell asleep again. So the whole like, welcome to Nebraska stuff, I was asleep for it. It looks a lot like Iowa, wherever we live. It's really pretty though, and the sun is really pretty over the cornfield, so I was going to show you, and that's the bus. So we parked at a KOA. We're gonna unhook the Jeep, go find something to eat, do whatever, probably something like that. Yeah. Yeah, Donna?
Yes.
Rock on,
Definitely
Donna.
gonna get something to eat.
Rock
and
on.
find rocks.
And find rocks. That's so pretty. It's like, was super sunshiny, and then I got my phone to film it. Went in a little bit, but I got a pretty picture. Cornfield of Nebraska, y'all. Nebraska, Nebraska. Nebraska. We stayed at the KOA that night, and I slept really good. I was so tired. I'm tired now. It's early in the morning. And so the next morning, we woke up, and we realized that we needed a part for the bus, and that we were having an issue. I can't remember what that was. Which part? There was more than one time that we needed a part. So we had to go into the small town that we were in to get the part. So we unhooked the Jeep, drove down, got our part, and come back. I don't think that was the water heater part. That might have been something else. I'm not sure. Anyway, the next morning, it was beautiful. So we decided to get up and get out and look around. So I'm going to cut to that part. Okay, guys. It is incredibly windy here in Nebraska. We got up this morning and went to the hardware store, got a part for the bus. We're back. Michael's working on it a little bit, drinking some tea, and me and Donna come out here and decided that we were gonna look for 4-leaf clovers. So we started looking, and we found a bunch, and I even found a 5-leaf clover. I've never done that before, so I will show you so you actually believe me. So this is the clover patch that we are looking in. Here's mine. And this is Donna's 4-leaf clovers. And if I set my tea down, you will be able to see mine. These are my 4-leaf. If they don't, yeah. These are my 4-leaf clovers. And somewhere, this is the 5-leaf. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All on the same thing. That's crazy. All my 4-leaf clovers, y'all. And 5-leaf. One thing I did not mention is about 30 minutes later, we, probably not even 30 minutes later, we got on the bus, and coming off the bus, I slipped and fell and absolutely busted my butt. It hurt, and I couldn't sit down, and I couldn't walk good for 2 days. I had that tea in my hand, and I was coming down the steps on the bus, and I must have hit some grass, I guess, that was wet, because we had been going in and out, and in that wet grass, and I fell. When I fell, I landed on the edge of the steps, and my phone was in my pocket, and kind of the edge of the steps caught my phone and pretty much just drove it right to my butt, and it hurt. But from there, we finally got what we needed to get fixed on the bus, and we hitched up and headed back out.
Want to do it? They want to do their own thing. Pretty all that. So quiet, y'all.
It's like nothing. Like, that's like...
Hey.
Hey. And now, Michael is washing the window on the bus because it's a really big window. Bugs hit it, it gets gross, you need to be able to see. Donna went in to get some gas, pay for gas, so we're just at the truck stop here, gassing the vehicle up, washing the window, doing all the stuff we gotta do before we get back on the road. And we're gonna make it to Wyoming tonight. Elk Mountain, something like that, in Wyoming. We have to go through Cheyenne and Laramie, which will be a lot of fun, because I love westerns, so yeah. On to Wyoming, but more of the same for a little while, probably nap. And this is Michael cleaning the bus at this truck stop. That's right, y'all. Cleaning the bus. And actually, where I've been sleeping, this pulls out when the slides on the bus are out, and turns in, there's an air mattress, and it blows up and it turns into a queen size bed. It's very comfortable. Been sleeping good. And this is our little bus mascot, and this is like Olive. So Donna got this little dog because it reminds her of Olive, and this is our little bus mascot. So we keep it right here, and it goes everywhere with us. And I've actually been hanging out making, so I'm teaching Donna to make these macrame bracelets, and I'm making one. I have mine on my water bottle. I'm making one. And we actually went down to the, so we went down to, while we were at the KOA before we left, we went down to the office, and we were actually out by the bus looking for 4-leaf clovers and having a good time doing that. And then we went down to the KOA office to get a code for the bathroom, because the bathrooms are locked up and you got to have the code for the door. And she gave us these little containers, mine's in my pocket if I can get it unbuttoned, to put our 4-leaf clovers in. And I actually fell on the bus steps while we were leaving the bus to go to the bathroom at the KOA and busted my butt pretty good. It's purple and it hurts, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I have my heating pad. That's right, I brought my heating pad with me because you never know if you, like, somebody falls and your arm hurts or your knee hurts, or if you get cold or whatever. I just travel with it. So now I'm gonna sit back down. I'm gonna maybe work on my bracelet, might read a book, just hang out when we get back on the road and head into Wyoming, because tomorrow night, we should make it to Oregon. And that is gonna be fun. I'm like super stoked. So that's right. Also, while we were still back there in Nebraska, in Grand Island, I got these cool stickers for my water bottle. I got this one that says tornado watch, which is funny because the whole time I've been screaming about naders. I keep saying I don't want a nader to suck us up since we're in the plains. And then I got this one that says children of the corn, because that's hilarious because of the show, but also hilarious because there's flipping corn everywhere. I did see one weird thing. I'm going to insert a picture here. I saw back there while we were in line waiting to get in line to gas the bus up, I saw a police officer, a Nebraska state trooper, pull up. He goes over to a pedestrian's car, this woman's car, and they pull out 2 dogs, and they look like English hound dogs, and they're fat too. They're not like skinny or nothing. And they carry them both to this guy's police car and put them in there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're arresting these dogs. These dogs are going back there behind the bars where the prisoners go. And then another state trooper showed up and went over there and started petting the dogs. So I was like, I wonder if they like found the dogs on the side of the 4-lane and were like, they're gonna get killed and we need to like put these dogs back where they go. Like, someone come find their dogs. I don't know what that was about, but this and I don't reckon that's none of my business, but this exchange of like these two funny looking like English, like, or even German, like the German pointers, that's kind of what they look like, but they look like the duck dogs because they've got the like fluffy ears. This exchange at the truck stop with the state trooper and the pedestrian and the two hound dogs in the back of the car was really funny, really entertaining. So I don't know what went on with that, but I did take a picture because I'm nosy. Oh my gosh, and if you're watching this video and you're the state trooper or you're the lady with the dogs, those are some cute dogs, and it looks like you were doing the right thing, so. I better go with this video, Donna. The hills are alive. With Donna can sing, y'all. Y'all, it's like I get, like, we're not even in big sky country yet. I mean, we're not even going to be in Montana, which they do call big sky country, but you can see why. Lord, you can see forever and ever. Awesome.
I think that was Petticoat Junction.
Petticoat Junction. Y'all, that is so funny. I like these little trees. These little Christmas tree. I mean, I swear they like our Christmas tree. Yeah, those are cute.
That's too strategic, right?
It does seem very strategic. I see some hills out there. She come up here. Hills like way out there. No, you're right. They really aren't that far, but it feels like they're like forever out there, but they're not. They're like kind of just over there.
We change it.
Even that is like different than what we've seen. So I'm like, look at that. That's so different from, you know, that's like the most non-flat thing we've seen. Because it has been awful flat.
Out of the Midwest now, so.
We're coming out of the Midwest. Right.
We're crossing the Rockies and north of Colorado stuff, so it's not as abrupt like it is in Colorado where you just go straight up. It's just a very gradual climb, and then all of a sudden you'll see signs of the Continental Divide, elevation of 7,400 feet.
Right. Yeah, so we are leaving the Midwest. I really liked the Midwest. And now we're just in the West. We're about to in the West. Not yet, though. Slowly but surely, but that's kind of the change that's happening, and maybe that's why I'm seeing a few more hills instead of just totally being flat. Yeah, I know, I saw that. Oh my goodness, that is just beautiful.
Viewpoint.
Oh wow.
You got a historical marker.
Oh yeah. Wyoming.
Yeah. Now that right down there is Colorado. You're already even with Colorado.
Right, so that off down in there is Colorado.
Yeah, way down there.
Way down there.
It's a struggle to find a few acres, you know.
Right.
And very, very few lots of land that are more than 50 acres. Down here, some of them 50,000 acres.
Yeah.
Oh, I see mountains, Katie. Look straight ahead over here.
Oh, what are those?
Mountains.
These mountains. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now that right down there is Colorado. You're already,
That's cattle. I live next to a cattle farm. I know what that is. That's cattle if I ever smelled it. Michael says that those mountains out there are part of the Rockies.
Looks like the clouds are kind of blurry, and then you see the big puffy ones on the top.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty, ain't it?
Oh no, that's just
Look at those mountains. It looks like our cowboys should be here. Also, anybody want fireworks?
It's open all year.
Heck yeah. Let's go get some whistling kitty chasers. Some scooter dudes and scooter don'ts with or without. No, I don't know what it is. Some whistler dudes. Whistler done with or without the scooter stick. Something. That's Joe Dirt. I love Joe Dirt. That is a pipe with fire coming out. This is a big refinery.
I got you. Yeah, that's quite right. That's what I'm trying to do, going down the road. Everything from like the bar to E is a road. And that's Brasstown. We come in pieces.
We come in pieces, alien mills. Little Joey and little Bowie. And Michael.
And Bob.
And Bob. I'm telling you, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with the windmills, but I like it.
Oh, we were too the first 25 times we came out here.
There's like so many. Look how
And
many
you look on
windmills.
this stretch over here, those are just standing there, not doing anything.
Yeah, they make
Being the
moving.
parent windmills.
Molly, those are parental windmills.
That's right. They just stand around making us do stuff. I love those guys.
We stopped for the night in Wyoming, and look at this frou-frou I got. So I didn't exactly film where we were staying in the campground, but we stopped in a campground. I can't remember if that was a KOA or not, but it was like right off the side of the road, and we were hungry. We were really hungry. It was late. And so the whole time that we were traveling, we're going back in time. Essentially, we're gaining time. So it felt like we'd been on the road for a lot longer than we had been. And I was like, man, you know, we've just went back another hour and I'm hungry. So we stopped and camped for the night. So I'm going to show you photos of kind of the sunset there in the campground and a little place next to where we ate. All we had to do was walk across the road from the campground. So yeah, I'm going to show you those photos so you get an idea of what it looked like for our stay that night in Wyoming and then back on the road. Real quick, before I move on to the next day of the trip when we woke up and drove across the rest of Wyoming, I wanted to show you a few pictures. Just go ahead and add a few more photos in of Wyoming. It's kind of hard to remember exactly what was where because I've only made that trip once and it all kind of blends together. So before we start back for the next day after this night that we just spent in the campground, I'm going to show you a few photos of some of my favorite things that I saw in Wyoming just riding in the bus. What are we talking
Where
about?
are you going with this?
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Even this has changed dramatically since we left where we were camped. It's changed a lot. It's getting bigger.
Almost to Rock City.
Yeah.
And after that is Green River,
Green River.
where they get all those fossils.
maybe if we stop and throw Donna out, she can be one of the fossils. Just joking.
She's not that old.
She's not that old.
Although she is 2 years older.
Although she is 2 years older than me, he says. That is just stunning.
Wait, trucks.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
See the area here is a little bit rockier.
It's really interesting because as you go across the state, so much changes. So those little fences that you can see out there kind of look like stacked up pallets put together. That is to help with the snow drift. So the snow can get like up to 10 feet there. And that is to keep that snow hopefully from drifting into the road. And that kind of gives it something to blow against and build up against, I guess. So it really does just look so different. You go from like a rocky outcrop to rolling fields and really a lot of variety, and it's one of the reasons I really liked that state. Oh my goodness. Well, seriously, look at that.
It's almost like seeing it from an airplane.
It is like seeing it from an airplane. Holy crap, you cannot appreciate how big that is unless you were here. Wow, that was one of the cooler things that I saw in Wyoming. I wish that you could be there to see that. I mean, that was probably who knows how many miles away from the actual highway that we were on. And it looked larger than life. It was really beautiful. And I just wanted to get out there. And there's that train. We followed it the whole way. As we move west across the state, you can see the landscape starting to change. I mean, it's looking more rugged. Here we're passing the Abraham Lincoln Memorial Monument. That was pretty cool to see. So at this point, I'm just really excited about all the changes I'm seeing. That was Wyoming. We didn't really stop in that state. We stopped at the campground and we kind of just moved on through that state. So, we will be coming back again with part 3. This is going to have to be a multi-part video, or this would be like a 2-hour long kind of thing because I saw so much and I did so much. And even though now this is August and it's almost September and I went in May, I'm still processing everything that I saw and going through pictures and video. Wow, it was just such a fantastic trip. Again, I love Don and Michael. I thank them so much for the trip of a lifetime. I'm still glowing and smiling and talking about it and thinking about what I saw. So from Wyoming, we dipped down into Utah a little bit before we come up into Idaho. And again, it was just so beautiful. It was something that was so different than anything I've ever seen. I so enjoyed getting to see the landscape change as we went west and on the way back as we come east. So I shared some of my favorite photos, some of my favorite things in Wyoming. Like I said, we went through Laramie and Cheyenne, which we didn't exactly go through, and we just passed kind of the turnoff there on the highway, which was really neat because I love the Westerns. So in some of those beautiful scenes, I was just thinking about like a cowboy riding out kind of against the backdrop of the mountains and kind of the rolling hills there. So stay tuned. I'll be posting part 3 where we'll see a little bit more of even the west, like western west, like Utah and everything like that. And then we're going to drop off into Oregon, and that's where it's going to get good. So Stay tuned. Thank you. God be with you. God watch you. God bless you. God knows everything. And isn't that wonderful? We'll catch you at the next one.